Okay, my name is Gabrielle Sotu. I'm the Account Rates and Equity Analyst with AVA. And today I'll be giving you an introduction to AVA and our solar billing plan. This is a public webinar that's being recorded, and it will be posted to our website afterwards. And if you have questions, we'll be doing a Q&A at the end. But if you have to leave early or you can't hold your question, you can type them in the Q&A function. And I have some colleagues on the line to help answer questions. And let's go ahead and get started. So for today's presentation, I'll be doing a brief overview of AVA and then a brief overview of the solar billing plan and going into the components of the SBP bill. So what is AVA Community Energy? AVA is a local community choice power supplier committed to providing Alameda County and the cities of Lathrop, Stockton, and Tracy with clean, green electricity at low rates. As a not-for-profit public agency, AVA reinvests revenue back into the community through local electrification programs, clean power projects, and community organizations. This is a map of our service territory with service beginning for Stockton and Lathrop in April, which is why most of you are here. And then how this works as a split service between AVA and PG&E is AVA is now taking over the generation portion of your electricity bill. So AVA buys and generates clean power, and we sell the power to customers at low rates. PG&E continues to own the poles and wires, and so they continue to deliver power to customers, and customers pay PG&E for delivery, as they always have. Customers get the power and local benefits. And some of those benefits that you get from being an AVA customer are we offer lower rates, we have local control and invest locally into our community, we focus on sustainability, and we offer customers a choice and have customer programs that you can participate in focused on electrification and resiliency. As an AVA customer, you have 3 different options for your generation service. So you can choose our Bright Choice option, which is 50% renewable energy, and that's set at rates 5% below PG&E generation rates. And this is the default service or option for Stockton and Lathrop customers. If you prefer, you can choose to opt up to Renewable 100, which is 100% solar and wind energy, and that's priced at 1/4 cent per kilowatt hour above PG&E rates. And then you always have the option to return to PG&E generation service. Okay, that was a very quick overview of AVA. If you have questions, you can type them in the Q&A, and I'll be moving on to a solar billing plan. So some of the things that I'll cover today: what is a solar billing plan? Who is eligible for SBP? When will you transition to AVA and or to SBP? How is SBP different from NEM? And then what compensation will you receive for exports with this new solar billing plan? So what is the solar billing plan? The solar billing plan is the successor program to NEM 2 for customers with solar panels or other self-generation technologies. It is intended to fairly compensate customers for their excess generation and to try to reduce the cost shift from solar to non-solar customers and encourage the adoption of solar with storage. So if you install solar, you would still apply for interconnection with PG&E, and then you would be automatically enrolled in PG&E and AVA's SBP programs. It's important to note that customers will transition to SBP regardless of their enrollment with AVA. SBP is changing the way that you are compensated for exports to the grid, and we'll review this in a later slide. And then also to note, you may hear it referred to as the net billing tariff, NBT, or NEM 3.0, and that's all the same thing as the solar billing plan. And who is eligible for SBP? This is for new solar installs, which means if your interconnection application was completed after April 14th, 2023, you would just start on the solar billing plan. It's also for customers that completed a full 20 years on NEM 1 or NEM 2. They will transition to SBP. And for existing solar customers who modify or repair their renewable generator and increase the generation capacity by 1 kilowatt or 10% of their current system size, they will also transition to SBP. Here are some details on the timing of your transition to AVA. So if you're currently an SBP customer, you transition to AVA based on your PG&E true-up month. So if your true-up month is January through April, you'll transition to AVA in April. If your true-up month is May or June, you'll transition to AVA in June. If your true-up month is July or August, you'll transition to AVA in August. If your true-up month is September or October, you'll transition to AVA in October. And if your true-up month is November or December, you'll transition to AVA in December. If you're not currently on SBP, but you will transition to SBP, that will happen right after your PG&E true-up month. So you may transition to AVA and the solar billing plan around the same time. You have 2 months before you transition to AVA where you can choose to opt out of AVA if you do not want to receive any bills with AVA service. And that's this third column here, which indicates when you can take action on your account with AVA. And then some details of your transition. Again, when customers will automatically transition to SBP after their PG&E NEM true-up. And again, this is regardless of your enrollment with AVA. So if you decide to stay with PG&E, you would still transition to SBP after your true-up if you fall into the SBP eligible customers. And here is a chart. Most of you are probably more familiar with NEM, so I'm just reviewing the differences between NEM and SBP here. With NEM 2.0, customers could be on any time of use rate. With NEM 1, customers could be on any flat rate as well. And then with the solar billing plan, customers will be automatically transitioned to the electric home e-elec rate. This has a $15 a month fixed charge, but lower cost per kilowatt hour. With NEM, customers would be on annual billing for their PG&E charges. So you would have been used to like a large bill at the end of the year from PG&E. And then with solar billing plan, customers are all on monthly billing. So you'll just get billed for charges each month from both PG&E and AVA. On NEM, customers received their monthly export compensation at the retail rate. And this is the same rate that you would have paid for electricity. And with solar billing plan, this monthly compensation is changing to the energy export credit value, plus any applicable bonus credits. We'll review this in a later slide. And then with NEM, the annual cash out value, or the actual amount that you would get paid for your overgeneration, was based on the net surplus compensation rate, or the wholesale rate. With solar billing plan, this is also based on the net surplus compensation rate, but now it's minus the approximate value of credits that you already received for the same exported energy. And that's looking at those monthly export compensation credits that you received. Okay, and then this slide, it's a little bit of an eye chart, but I'll try and talk through it. This just shows all of the various credits that you receive on SBP for your exports. So each column is a different credit that you may be eligible for. The first column is the energy export credit, which all customers will receive for their exports. And this varies hourly. So it really depends when you're exporting energy and how much you'll receive. The next column is the energy export bonus credit, which is offered by both PG&E and AVA. And this is a bonus credit for new voluntary residential installs. And then the next two columns are AVA-specific credits for our SBP customers. So AVA offers a Care Fair credit for Care Fair SBP customers. This will give you an extra penny per kilowatt hour for all exports. And if you're not Care Fair, you would receive the AVA peak hours credit, which is an extra 0.025 per kilowatt hour for exports during the times of 3 to 8 p.m. And these bonus credits are on top of the energy export bonus credit and the energy export credit. And then the last column is the net surplus compensation. This is the annual payment that you would receive if you have overgeneration. This is offered by PG&E and AVA, and it's the same for both. It's based on the net surplus compensation rate minus the approximate value of energy export credits already received. Okay, and now we'll go into some details on the next slides. So first is that energy export credit that all customers get for all of their exports. Again, this varies by hour and season and is intended to reflect the value of the power provided at the time that you export. So you can see the highest value for credits for exports is typically between the hours of 4 to 9 p.m. And the lowest value is about during the times of 10 to 3 p.m. when there's a lot of solar on the grid already. So you may be wondering how you can export during 4 to 9 p.m. And that's where battery storage comes into play. If you have storage, you can store energy during the day and then use it during the more expensive times at night, or export at night when you would receive higher compensation for those exports. And then this is a slide going over the details of the bonus credit. So again, PG&E and AVA are offering the energy export bonus credit, which is only for new voluntary residential installs. And this is intended to incentivize early solar adoption. So if you install within the first 5 years of the solar billing plan, you'll get this bonus credit and you get it locked in for 9 years. And the values decreases over time. And then AVA is offering the peak hours and Care Fair credits. And these are additional bonus credits to encourage exports when they are most valuable to AVA and help low-income customers. And now I'll be talking through the different components of the bill. So with SBP, the monthly statement now has imports and exports charged and credited separately. And then the charges and credits will be summed each month to calculate your monthly bill. So credits from previous months will be used to cover charges, and any excess credits will continue to roll over to the following bill. And here is the first page of a PG&E and AVA bill. So now with AVA, you'll see an additional line item that says called AVA Community Energy Electric Generation Charges. And it's important to note that AVA generation charges are not additional charges, but they are replacing previous PG&E charges. So now instead of seeing one line item for electric charges, you see it broken out into PG&E and AVA. And then for the annual statement with SBP, every April is AVA's cash out period. You also will continue to have a separate true-up with PG&E, which is based on your interconnection date. So in April with AVA, your credit will be converted to your cash out. And if the cash out is less than $100, it will stay on your bill as a credit. If the cash out is $100 or more, you will automatically be sent a check for that amount. And checks are typically sent in June or July following the April cash out. And that's the end of the presentation. Here I have some links. avaenergy.org/welcome-solar is where this webinar will be posted. And then this avaenergy.org/SBP has details on the solar billing plan. If you have any questions, you can type them in the Q&A. Okay, if there are no questions, I will wrap this up, and you can review this webinar afterwards on this avaenergy.org/welcome-solar page. Thank you for attending, and if you have any additional questions that come up later, feel free to call us or email us. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. Thank you so much.